Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome to you.
Well, welcome to our talk, everyone. Sorry we're 3 minutes late, but we had like
Hello,
a bunch
everybody.
of
We are live.
stuff to make sure that we're
Welcome
doing
to
right.
you.
So welcome to our talk. Yoga and Me
Well,
is
welcome
a
to our talk,
monthly
everyone.
that we have.
Sorry we're 3 minutes late, but
we try to do this just to update the community, to talk about things that come up. So thank you for joining us. And today's topic is the co-op, a cooperative, which is what we have turned into. So before we start and get into it, we'd like to start with some communal breaths. And I'm going to invite you to just relax wherever you're at. Take a deep breath, settle in, relax the shoulders. Let that neck be soft, jaw be soft. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if that feels good. If not, just keep those eyes open. And you're going to take one big breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Gently open your eyes. And it's just like a little reset, right? To get into the moment, into the present. So today is kind of special. It's the first Yoga and Me that we do as an official worker-owned cooperative. And if you follow us on social media or if you're our friends and family, I'm sure you've seen pictures, you've heard us talk about it. It's something really exciting because if you remember, we've already transitioned from nonprofit to a worker-owned cooperative. That entails a bunch of stuff, a bunch of changes that now going from nonprofit to a for-profit still has not changed our ethos. And our ethos, I wrote it down because I was like, I'm going to get this dictionary definition down right. It's the characteristic spirit of a culture, era, community as manifested in its belief and aspirations. In this case, I'm also going to include service. And our ethos has not changed. All 4 of us have taught at the studio at the Tree South LA, formerly known as the Tree South LA, now the Tree Yoga Co-op. And our service to the community, our heartfelt desire to serve has not changed. So if you follow us on any social media platform, you'll see the same message all the way through. And so I'm going to hand it over to Jen because we have a lot of stuff that we want to share with you. And today you're going to get to see what our new webpage looks like, how you can help support us, what we're going to offer. And again, every time that we sit together, I feel like you just get to know us a little bit better. So I'll hand it over to Jen.
All right, thanks, Rita. So for those of you that don't know me, Jenni here. And before I start talking about what the tree community means to us, I wanted to share a quote with all of you. So it's a quote by Coretta Scott King. The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. And so I just want to open up with so much deep gratitude and appreciation of our tree community for the past 8 years, since 2012. And that includes our students, all the practitioners that we've worked with, our teachers, community members, supporters, small businesses, entrepreneurs, every single one of you, local schools, teachers, everyone that is part of this Tree community. You have helped us make such a huge impact in these past 8 years. And we have been so overwhelmed with gratitude that has carried over in excitement and support as we transition now into a worker-owned cooperative. And so we're so excited about continuously making a huge impact in our community. And what our community is not just South Central Los Angeles. We've noticed that we've been able to grow a little bit bigger through this virtual experience that we've all been kind of thrown into. And then it's become a beautiful way of connecting in a lot of ways. So it's really helped us. And so with all of your support, it's currently, with all the virtual offerings that we have, it's allowing us to continue providing employment opportunities to practitioners of color and elevating their experiences and their trainings. And so with that, it also allows us to continuously making these practices accessible. And with your support, it allows us to be sustainable in our model. And so I'm going to ask if Jana can share her screen so that I can share a little bit with you about what this impact looks like, just to break it down a little bit. Yeah, and then I'll kind of keep going. So we've had people who have supported us from like what the cost of a coffee is. Sorry, Jay, maybe if Jay can share the screen then. The website, yeah. And so like the price of a coffee that you have, like what type of impact that does for us versus someone who can like a monthly subscription or whatever you would spend on like a night out eating, like what that little impact does for us month to month and over the course of a year, like the huge impact that it does. So it's like whatever you can support with is so huge on what it does. So this is our new website. How exciting. And Jay, I'm wondering, oh, cool. Okay, so right now I'm looking at Facebook. And it's like spread across 4 different screens. And I'm looking at some amazing yoga philosophy. Okay, cool.
That's your or your
So we appreciate you all working with us while we share with you what we do offline, right? Yoga philosophy. So right now I'm still seeing our yoga yama, the 8 limbs on here. All right.
Yeah, what we see is your home screen. Yeah, when you share screen, you can share the web thing.
And just so everybody knows, we kind of did some last minute stuff with Jay. So it's probably our fault that we're like having Jay do last minute things.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I can.
Sorry, that was how I was set up, was to share somebody else's screen.
Our production member here is a lot going on for him. So we just keep throwing more at him. You got this.
Right.
All right. So perfect. And I think it's the sustainable giving tab. Cool. All right, we're back on.
Yes.
So like I was saying, so people give whatever they can per month. And sometimes we think about it as like a cup of coffee. Maybe it's like a meal that we've had out, and what that impact does over time for us as far as what we've done in the past 8 years and what we're looking forward to doing in this next unfolding of where we're at as a cooperative. And so if we look at like what $5 per month allows us to do, well, it allows us to continue offering discounted class rates to the nonprofits and local schools that we partner with. $10 per month allows for our instructors to attend community outreach events throughout the year. And so that looks like health fairs. It looks like events that they put on for the community at libraries. it varies from all the different types of things that we get invited to do. And then $25 per month allows us to provide donation-based and sliding scale dropping yoga and meditation classes. And so we're continuing with our ethos of maintaining everything accessibly. And remember, we're doing it sustainably. So that type of support really goes a long way. $50 per month allows us to provide accessible continuing education trainings to yoga practitioners and students. And so as yoga practitioners, we constantly are really excited to continue our education to become, I don't want to say better instructors, but becoming more informed of how to be more intuitive with our students. And that's available to students to also deepen their own practice. So that's what that helps. And $100 per month allows us to provide scholarships for our 200-hour yoga teacher training for Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQ, and other underrepresented groups. And so, of course, these are just little ideas, but there's so much more that is done with monthly donations. And so if you go on the website, there's different ways to give. It's not just if monthly donation, but we also have other ways that Jana's going to be sharing in just a bit that go a long way so that you can, one, get something to help you deepen your own practice, but also it supports us as local, although we are virtual. And Jay's going to share in that piece where we're doing our search for our new home. So please use the comments and the chat on Facebook or on YouTube. If anything, you're like, hey, I know a place, or hey, I want to know more about this. We're here watching the chat as we're sharing all these updates. So go ahead and Jay and share everyone about our search for a new home.
Yes, we're currently, the whole idea and reasoning behind the tree was to bring yoga philosophy, mindfulness work to communities who have not been exposed to this type of understanding, if you will. What we find definitely within our community within South LA is that we're locked out of a lot of things that are happening in the greater society, like healthy food, right? We find that we have more fast food, more liquor stores in the community than places to go to actually just give you juices and fruits and things like that. And so we're actually having to rely on a 7-Eleven for to be this more healthy market, if you will. And so we've seen that need to have a studio within the community that would now begin to start bringing these types of healing modalities, if you will. And we've existed on Manchester and Western for 8 years. And that was great as we really began to make our home there and serve the community and grow in this great way to where we feel we have this great home in South LA. The great thing about what's happening now is that we've outgrown that 1,500 square feet that we had to be doing yoga and our yoga teacher training. And so now we're looking for at least 3,000 square feet still in South LA that will be more of our wellness center, a place of where we can do not just yoga, but we can also provide massage or acupuncture, coaching, just different levels of wellness that doesn't have to necessarily rely on Western medicine. And so right now we're out looking. We've seen some spots. Our biggest issue is making sure that our clients are safe, right? As we have people going to classes and you might be sweating and just having on just yoga clothes. We want you to be able to go out in a lighted area and have a parking lot you can go to and feel safe once you've come out. And so this is that hunt that we are presently on. We're looking just for a spot within South LA that we can make beautiful. It doesn't have to be the traditional space of what you may think of a yoga studio, but we're looking for a spot that would have like a garden for us to be able to plant fruits, vegetables, and also maybe be able to sit out and allow people to just commune with nature, right? Just have an oasis away from the craziness of the urban city, right? We want you to be able to step in and now enter into this new Zen center, a place again of where you just get to get away. And that's a serious struggle for us to find right now. So that's why we're putting out this call for people who want to help the tree, who want to be down with us, who want to support this mission of ours, which is to give a little bit of peace to chaos. We believe that if we can give more or share more of this peace, then we'll begin to push order in the world. Right now, we see a chaotic United States because there is no order. We see people simply out for themselves, a president out for himself, a party out for themselves, politics that is simply just out for itself. And we need this understanding of community. We need this understanding of citizens, that we have to be here for each other, or there is no United States. And so our entire need of growing community, our entire mission of growing, is something that we feel that won't just better South Los Angeles, it'll better the entire nation, if you will. And so as I'm just on my soapbox, pining and begging for 3,000 square feet with enough space that we can park and also have a garden, I'm a sit back and let my partners jump in.
And let's be honest, Jay. We also are looking for a space that hopefully has showers, so that you don't walk out the street all sweaty in the dark. You can take a shower and then go home. Yeah, I feel like there's so many things right now that we're striving for, to look for in a space. And we want to go bigger. We want to go better. Because we want to provide the community with all these things that can be accessible. We're even thinking about having like a little cafe within the studio where you can get a juice or a coffee, maybe like a little corner where we can sell merchandise, not just our merchandise, but also invite local vendors to like set up shop in there. I mean, some of the spaces that we have seen, we've like already, and we talk about it, like I'm already dreaming about the space in the back being the Zen garden, or like the little room in the back being the massage parlor. There's just so many possibilities and things that we have, just turning our heads with this space that we want. So like Jay said, if you know of a space that might work, that you would think we would be interested, please reach out and let us know.
We've definitely seen some places that we fully dreamed and envisioned every possible thing that we've talked about and got really excited, and then it's like missing one important piece, and so then it's like having to come back and continue that research. So we've gotten like, this is it, we found it, we can do this here, this here, this here, this here, and so much excitement, like this is going to happen, and then we're realizing, parking or this and that, and we need this, and so please, with any resources you send, we are going through every lead and really weighing out everything that we need to make sure that this is our home, right? We had a home for 8 years, and we're ready to like move into the next place and settle in there and really do expand as a yoga school and so many other offerings that we're excited to really partner with. So with here, let's go ahead and have Jana fill people in on the exciting new stuff.
Yeah, I am excited. I'm excited just hearing you all talk about the space and what we have seen and what we are envisioning. And I think that that's such an important and exciting part of a new business venture in this way, and how we're kind of reestablishing certain things. And I just want to, just highlight, I'm so glad that we're in this space of excitement for what's to come, right? And so with that, we are definitely looking forward to January and programming. And the reality is we wanted to be in a space by January, and the County of Los Angeles is on a different page. So we are, flowing with what's being presented to us. So we'll have our space in the time that it makes sense to be in person and have programming that's in person. And in the meantime, it's like we don't have to have that concern of a physical location, and we can really
Jana,
in on this resource, this new resource of being able to connect with people virtually that are outside of our physical locality. And so we have a few things coming up in January. I'm going to share my screen again and show us our lovely website. Let me move things around here. So from the home page, and you can access our website from, and a lot of these links from our Instagram, our link tree is there, so it has everything directly to all of this. But going to our website, thetreeyogacoop.org, the main two options on the menu that show what's upcoming is the classes and the workshop and training. So I'll start with the classes. We have virtual classes that will be coming up. Those are series coming up in January. And then we have on demand, which you can do at your own time. And then we have private classes that companies or individuals can book. So I'll just briefly go through these three options for classes that are coming up. In January, we have two series upcoming with two wonderful teachers. One is Lalita, who's going to be hosting a pregnant yoga series. And one of the things that I'm really excited about with the series is that there are multiple classes that are all around one theme. And I think one, especially with the virtual yoga world that we're in right now, it's really great to go consecutively with the same group of people, with the same teacher, and really still build that community in the way that we can virtually, right? And I think that too allows for you to just go deeper in a particular subject within yoga, because yoga is so vast. And so because these are specialized by theme, you have that opportunity to just go a little deeper. So the first one there, like I said, is a pregnant yoga. That's going to be every Sunday in January. And you can learn more about that here and sign up as well. And then the other one happening in January is with Sarah, which is a handstands for everybody. She hosted a class around Thanksgiving week, which was really great. And so this is, again, beginner friendly and welcoming to all levels. It's encouraged. I mean, more so if you have a physical practice already, but she's very great with starting from basics, breaking things down, and getting you to those preps for handstands. So these are two really great series. This one is going to be the 4 Wednesdays in January. So again, at the website under classes, you can find out more about these 2 class series in January. And then we have our on-demand yoga, which is yoga that you can watch on your own time. So when you go here from the website, you'll see all the different categories of classes that are in our growing list of on-demand classes. And this is with a wide range of our teachers. So it's really great to get a taste of different styles and different topics as well. When you hit sign up, you'll be taken to the page, which actually allows you to get your subscription. It's only $10 a month, and you have access to, right now, over 30 yoga videos. And that includes things, they are talks about sutras and yoga philosophy. There are meditations in both English and Spanish, and there are movement classes from yin to prenatal to flow, English and Spanish. So you have a wide range of classes to choose from here. And again, that's a $10 monthly subscription. And that's one of those, as Jen was talking about, sustainable giving options where it's like it allows you to support, but more importantly, we want the support to be part of our business exchange, right? And so what we're offering and the value and everything that we're offering for you to expand your own practice. And the last thing here with classes is private classes. So this is a growing thing we have with local community partners. As Jen was talking about, our community definitely expands beyond the students that come to our studio space or our physical space in the past to also where we go to other locations. And that's a huge part of making yoga accessible, to be able to go into people's spaces and make it there and present for them. And they don't have to drive and go anywhere, right? It's like there. So that's been really great. And these are lots of options here. If you are a business, a nonprofit, a school, if you're a person and just want something for yourself or your friends or your family, lots of options here with just booking one of our amazing teachers. And again, our teachers do anything from restorative yin, vinyasa, beginner friendly. There's chair yoga, meditation, lots of options there. And then lastly, workshops and training. One workshop we got coming up in January is all about the sun salutations. I'll be hosting that. And that's a 2-day, workshop. And I'm excited about this because the sun salutations, Surya Namaskars, it's called in Sanskrit, is just such a basic sequence that's commonly used. And sometimes, again, for beginners who show up to yoga classes, we just do what we're in there doing, but we don't learn, or we may not have heard about it before. And so this is a way to get more connected with the poses in the Suryas, why you might want to practice the Suryas, some history about it, and how you can make your practice be really devotional, and the Suryas is a nice sequence, breath and movement together that can be done up to 108 times.
That's why I was giggling. I'm like, yes, you guys are going to be ready for 108 pretty soon.
Right. But it's really a great practice that is a sequence that you can do over and over again. And it's like you still can be new to it every time. And again, let it be devotional, and it moves through all in your body. So that's one that's coming up in January. Continuing education, I'm also hosting some of these, or the 2 of these, and I won't go into them. You can learn more about it here, but the one is more philosophy based, and this is about our internal world. So inner peace, inner power. So mind, emotions, internal world, and we'll be studying the sutras and using the practice of self-inquiry to get in tune with our inner world. And then the other one is more asana-based, which is how we can make this physical practice personal for us. So lastly,
share with Jana doing this for teachers who already have their teacher training certification. These 2 trainings count towards like your continuing education with Yoga Alliance if you're looking to that. So that's really special that you can do this at such an accessible rate.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Jen. And speaking of, with Yoga Alliance as well, our 200-hour yoga teaching training, also Yoga Alliance approved. And that we have 3 upcoming for the year of 2021. The first one that's happening in the spring is going to be virtual. And then the other 2 are going to be in person. That's our current plan. We can easily shift it to virtual if we need to, but it's scheduled to be in person. But the spring one is going to be virtual. We've just done 2 virtual trainings this year through the Tree, and they've really been dynamic, and I think right on time considering how everyone feels so isolated. Our yoga teacher training, because we meet every weekend and every Wednesday so consistently, and we're able to connect on very deep levels, because this practice is about who we are deeper than just, the superficial outer layer. And so because of that, we've been able to really cultivate community in a time that I think has been so right on time and such value to be able to cultivate these skills and these practices in a time where it's like, yes, absolutely, this makes sense to be able to use these things and carry on with this. And so I'm excited for our upcoming virtual training as well. This is Jay and I. We will be the co-leads for the trainings in 2021. You can find out lots more here. The exact dates and everything else you need is on this page. So check that out. The next one will start the last weekend in February, which is February 27th.
Also, I want to add to that, only because I get a lot of inquiries about the teacher trainings. And my first thought about to share with people who are interested in our teacher training is that a lot of our modules and guest speakers are people of color. And, I think that just brings it in more of the grasp of connecting to the community. So I wanted to throw that out there too as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited, like I said, about what we have upcoming, and just us redefining and getting more clarity on our mission, what we want as a co-op and all of that. I feel like our programming is very intentional to be in line with that. And that includes expanding our community. And as our quote alluded to, it's like the community is made up of the individuals, and the individual being whole and being able to feel the wholeness of themselves to contribute and to live and all of that. And that's what I love about this practice of yoga too. It's about going inward, but it's also acknowledging that we are part of this outer thing, and our relationship with that matters based on the relationship with ourselves, right? So from our teacher training, the 200-hour continuing education workshop, and the range of classes, our teachers in this space, virtually and in person, is all about building up the individual from inside so that externally we can also be good, right? So I'm excited.
And yes, in the coming year, the next year, actually, we plan to be offering a 300-hour training.
I'm
For
excited.
those of you thinking about it.
Gotta throw mine in there.
Yeah, I do want to just highlight for those of you on a Wednesday night at 7:34 Pacific time who are looking for last minute holiday shopping gifts. We do have gift certificates for that on-demand yoga classes that we offer, where it's like 24/7 access to all the yoga classes that we offer, meditations, lectures, etc., that you can gift someone. And also, if you want to do a gift card so that they can use it towards like the workshop series and the class series or the trainings that we mentioned, that's also available. And so all those last minute shoppers, we got you. So I just wanted to put that little plug in.
Yes. I wanted to say too, I like that you mentioned that, Rita, about our guest teachers, and it was definitely something that was brought up from one of our trainees in the recent cohort, the YTC. We just finished this past Sunday. So
Congratulations! Woo!
So, but one of the things they said is about being able to see other people in leadership roles in this world of yoga and in this industry. And I think, again, in this community of yoga, because a lot of us, if we have been practicing yoga for a while and then we find places like the Tree, we're used to being the only person of color. And so when we come to this space, it's like, it lets you know, like, you know, you're not the only one. Like, there are other people doing this that look like you, and that you can find a community that feels good to you and still like geek out on this stuff and really go deep in this stuff and let it still be valuable, life-changing, and educational and inspiring and all those things. And so I think from the leadership and the guest speakers and all that is being exposed through those trainings, I think is very powerful for sure.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yes, and shout out to our LGBTQ community, and that we are open and friendly, and I am proud to say that we are certifying everyone.
I
Open,
concur.
doing everyone and loving everyone for who they are. That is the point and the place of the Tree and our training, is to inspire that self-love so that more people can go out and teach and share that self-love.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Including bodies of all shapes. I want to say that.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's about accessible yoga.
Right.
Accessible yoga. I think that was the point of it, of what we were sharing. You know, for me, back when I got certified in teacher training, which I never planned on teaching, you know, I was just like, man, this would be so nice if more of people from my culture, community, could be going through this. You know, you kind of think, I'm just going to go in and get a little stretch in and things in, and you wind up changing your life in a sense.
True. I feel like that's why I'm here. I was like, I just want to check out these classes and see if I'm doing the poses right. And then, 6 years later, here we are, right?
I remember you coming in, Rita. I remember you coming in.
I remember me coming in because I was bitching and like complaining about some like older lady in my Pilates class the night before being able to do stuff that I wasn't able to, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and the first thing that I saw was like a black yogi male, and I was like, cool. Okay. I dig it.
She was true to her word. She was like, I love this, the music, the fact that we could be, I will be here, I will come, I will support this. I didn't even know this was here. And 6 years later, yes.
Yes. But the second time that I showed up, you had like a major flood going on, so we couldn't do class. And so that's just part of that history in that little 83rd and Western corner. But yeah, yes, love the mission. I don't love the flooding, but that's why we're still here. Y también vamos a tener clases en español. Our on demand are also in español. So if you have any questions, myself, Jen and Jana, hablamos español, los podemos ayudar con cualquier pregunta que tengan. Y queremos animar a que vengan a las clases los jóvenes con sus mamás, sus papás, sus tíos, sus tías, los niños, whoever. Nomás lleguen, anímense.
Thank you, Rita. I was thinking about like doing a chair yoga, like a couple chair yoga classes to really show like the different ways that we see what accessibility means. Especially for people who are like bedridden, who can't, not just in a wheelchair, but different styles of what adapting the yoga asanas or the yoga postures look like. And then I'm like, okay, once I do it in English, I got to do it in Spanish. It's like, there's just so many ways to like trying to make all these classes and trainings accessible. And then it's like thinking about it in so many different ways of different bodies, different languages. And I'm glad I have this team here to help me think through all these ideas of creativity of classes and workshops that we want to curate. And it's just like, all right, let's get the equipment so we can start recording. Let's get the space. Yeah.
I know, and as we talk, and we're saying yoga, there's also, I want to give a shout out to Curtis, who is our longtime meditation teacher, who has I don't even know when Curtis started. He just has been part of the tree, that he's been doing a meditation class. It was every Saturday, I believe now it's every Sunday. And so for those people who may feel like, oh, I don't want to be out there doing all of these. There's meditation classes out there. And these ladies here are also meditation facilitators. And so it's important for us to talk about that. Just sitting and being mindful is what we are really trying to get more people to do. The asanas are really just to prepare you to be able to sit.
Yeah. I was going to say that too, just in addition to the asana practice, it is on our on-demand, and one of the CETs upcoming as well is really intentionally not doing asana, because that's one of my pieces when I think about a yoga community and what I want to contribute moving forward as well is about taking yoga off of our yoga mats. So it's like, if it's one thing to have that practice, and I believe that there's so many ways that we can infuse our asana practice to be sustainable, to be lifelong, and to be more than a physical thing. And so I want us to really highlight those pieces as well. And I think that, like you're saying, just being able to sit with yourself and pause, is one practice, and how we can bring that pausing and that stillness in other ways. Self-inquiry, like I was saying with one of the trainings, and that's one of the things that's been so huge too, is like, trusting ourselves and building up trust with ourselves to be able to ask ourselves the questions, and how can we listen and sit and hear answers clearly from, our greater understanding, what yoga calls our seer, our true nature, our true self. And so, like, how can we really let these things help us live a fuller life and live in joy and live in a way that feels good to our soul, not just good fleeting, So absolutely, that's what I see in our community, is how this really expands to the whole being, including the physical and beyond the physical.
Right.
As we enter into the moment of silence.
I'm checking to see if we have any questions. Well, and we have a couple of comments. Grace says that the website is lovely on Facebook. Thanks, Grace. I say we, but it was actually mostly the other members of the co-op who worked really hard on making this website the way it looks. And so, yeah, I'm grateful that we have techies on the team, because I'm not good at it.
Rita's gonna say all that, and the new logo and how you see it looks all beautiful and whatnot. That's Rita.
And anytime you see a cute little leaf, that's Rita too.
That's cute. Okay.
I will also say that even when we're not techies, we have a very determined team to just learn, to just keep troubleshooting, call each other, working together to figure out how to build a website.
How to connect all the buttons to do stuff. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Hi, Kimberly. She's telling us good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining.
We're having a conversation here. So if you have questions, want to talk, we're here.
We also got another comment on YouTube from Lalita Duncan. She said she saw the website and it's amazing. Thanks, Lalita.
Lalita is going to be hosting our pregnant yoga series in June.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
And I do want to just put it out there that if you know any pregnant mamas, let them know. Also, if there's any pregnant teens or moms that are kind of in some financial support, there is some scholarships for the pregnant yoga series. So let them know to email us, and we got them ready. So
absolutely. I remember in my cohort, which was the first cohort, that it was way back, the green tree meditation. We had a student my fellow cohort yogi, who was, oh my God, I want to say she was like maybe 6 months pregnant when she started. And she was doing camel pose like in her 8th month. So yes, yoga can be done by pregnant people. It is accessible for people that are carrying babies. And it's, I think it would be a great supplement to any other activity that you're doing. I know when I was pregnant, I used to walk a lot, because that was the only thing I had that I was accessible, I had access to, was the sidewalk. But if I knew that there was like yoga for pregnant people, I totally would have been like, all right, I'm into it. What's going on? So yes, pass it on. Yogis can have babies in their bellies.
I've been so afraid, because I've had many mothers come to my class when they were like 9 months, trying
Wow.
to do things to whatever. And these are more experienced yogis, but still, you see some mommies doing some incredible things. And it's Green Tree Yoga Meditation Foundation. Shout out
Yes.
to Raja Michelle and Jen DeRasp, the original founders of the nonprofit. We definitely want to acknowledge them as they were the founders and the people who really put down the sweat equity, if you will, to get this started,
Absolutely.
and had the courage and foresight to see the importance of Black and brown people taking on the leadership of this great project. And so we definitely want to recognize these two founding women who, again, it was through them that made me be able to live my dream, if you will, through the tree.
Yes, absolutely. And an extra shout out to Jen DeRasp, who just got married a couple weeks ago. Congratulations.
Congrats.
We have a
And
Kimberly.
anatomy queen. That was my.
Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So someone's asking, Kimberly Smith is asking, when will the tree yoga go back into a brick and mortar building?
We hope to by, spring, summertime, to be honest. And again, like we wanted it to be at the top of 2021, but we wouldn't be able to use it and have people in there. So it doesn't make sense. So we're going with that flow in terms of determining when it makes sense to start, paying rent again.
Right.
And with, to have people in space together in a safe way and where people actually want to come and be there and can be in a way that we know is going to be of benefit to everyone and keep everyone safe.
And in the meantime, if you check out our social media, we have Jay doing some classes sporadically out in the park. So check that out.
Every Saturday at 9:30.
Every Saturday.
Unless we cancel it, but
Yeah, the plan is that we'll be doing more yoga in the park, having more outdoor yoga. We should be finding something to move into in this winter and getting it up and set up in the spring, and we should be fully operational come summer. That's the plan.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
that we're engaging with these comments. Thank you, Kimberly. And she also said she's going to check out our new website. I appreciate that.
Loving the comments and the questions. One thing I want to say, because we get into this last 10 minutes, I got to, because we've been ego stroking each other, and I might as well give a little bit more ego stroking. How great it is, one, to have this team here. If you don't understand, again, we kind of laid out the point of a cooperative is for people to not just work there or just own it, but actually now participate in the working and ownership of it, so that now we are actually able to bring our great skills together to make a very great business. And so far, so good in that I don't do that much. These three here,
Sure you don't,
they
Jay.
do a ton.
Sure you don't.
They do a ton. I'm not gonna lie, as far as keeping me on schedule, making me look good and whatnot in pictures and stuff like that, making me not sound like a complete idiot. and just making it look like a professional business. I want to say, if you see these changes that are beginning to happen, that it's been something to do things out of volunteering. There's something else to actually put your sweat into it. And what you'll really be seeing from the tree is a true love, a true dedication from these people that you see sitting here. And so far, so good of where what you don't see behind the scenes is what it's taking to keep this afloat, to continue to push it forward and reestablish it. And it's taking a lot from this team. So I just want to give praise and thanks to my group here.
Oh, thanks, Jay. And I want to say that even though we schedule our weekly meetings for 3 hours and then we run on to 6 hours and then sometimes twice a week, I'm all okay with it. And a shout out to all the teachers. We currently have Kathy, Sarah, Amisha, Curtis, and Rebecca on board. You'll see them in our on-demand classes or doing virtual classes. But then we had so many other, when you talk about volunteering, Jay, I just remembered, to being in service at the nonprofit. And Jen too, I'm sure all of us, just like, doing stuff not because we were getting paid, but because we wanted to share, to have this community-centered space where we can reach out and, talk to our neighbors, talk to people who look like us, who want a little bit of holistic wellness where it's not too way out there. Where it's like this looks kind of like, I don't know, like I'm entering a spacecraft, and I'm sure that when they see us, they're like, all right, I can deal with that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so many other teachers that need a shout out when they did their service at the tree. And I'm sure you guys, if you've ever walked into that space, you would remember some of them. So shout out to everyone who ever taught and was of service at the tree. Thank you.
So very interesting is that with how we talked about the impact that we have as the tree community, whether it's the teachers or the community members or supporters, and what that does to doing like community outreach classes or paying instructors, competitive market rates for their private classes, all that. We have someone who has commented in the chat, Kimberly, that they never got a chance to visit, but I donated from time to time. I love the idea of having a yoga studio in my community. I applaud you all. So thank you, Kimberly, because whatever donation amount you have given, your generosity has made a huge impact in a variety of ways, whether it's a direct impact with the people who benefited from the services or practitioners that got to continue their education, teachers getting paid market rate in a community that didn't have these classes available. And so just really looking at what equity looks like when we have this type of sustainable model of providing services that, that are in exchange, and then also people who that support to sustain being in a community where there's so much different offerings we want to provide and make accessible. And it's about being creative and working together as a community to make sure that is available. So shout out. Thank you. We talked about that in the beginning of this conversation about like whatever people give, whether it's the cost of a coffee or it's like a subscription that we just canceled that we're not using, right? Like whatever it is, it really goes a long way when it's month to month and then over a year, like what it does for us. So thank you. And my gosh.
Wait,
ahead.
One more thing. I just remembered. We're going to have merchandise, guys.
Yeah.
So that's something super exciting. We're going to have some shirts, some t-shirts, some sweatshirts, some stickers, and hopefully a bunch of other stuff. But get ready for some of that stuff because I'm excited. I want to start sporting it already. But I just remember because I saw my logo. I was like, oh my God, yes, t-shirts, merchandise, finally.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Shout out to merch.
Merch committee.
Right.
Oh God.
All right. Well, how about we have Jay close us out?
Woot, woot.
We're towards the end, so I don't know if there's any final announcements we want to make other than like happy holidays, whichever holidays we're all celebrating or not celebrating.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I thought you guys were thinking of some things, but I definitely would like to say thank you to 2020. For a lot of us, it's been, like, oh my God, but something that you may see from natural disasters, if you will, is the clearing, right? Is the new opportunity. And so even though for a lot of people that it may seem like this change of us closing the doors has been this horrific thing, it's actually been this very refreshing cleansing that I think the tree, the community, everyone is needed to really kind of stop and reset. And so it's been a beautiful thing to go through a year of upheaval so that I think we can really look forward to a 2021. I think for so many, so many of us, it's just been another new year, and now I think that this New Year's will be one that people will definitely take stock of. All right, we've been through some trying times. If I'll mention our president again, the state of politics, and I mean, that thanks even goes to something I said as President Trump was elected, is a new awakening, a new opening for us to talk about race, right? For us to talk about what it means for us to be citizens. This is a very great time that we're in. So I'm excited for the tree. I'm excited for me. I'm excited for everyone in the sense that we're coming into, shout out to Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, if you will. Yes, I am an Aquarius. And it's a time of this going inward. And again, I believe of spreading that self-love. And so I'm ending it basically on that note. It's that note that we should stop and understand it's not about the things that we have. It's not about the things that we're buying. It's about what we can do for each other. It's about who we are to each other. It's about us, again, sharing and loving. That is something that we can stop and do for ourselves by just taking a breath. Just putting down everything that might be going on, or you worry about a PlayStation 5, right? If you understand that you can play in this stationary position with just the love of your breath.
True.
So as we take this time to kind of sit back, relax those shoulders, close those eyes, and we can just take this deep inhale through the nose, exhale it out the mouth. Again, inhale through that nose. Exhale out the mouth. One more, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Coming into a prayer, and I would like to say that it's only in this moment that we can truly know that we are loved. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Gracias. Nos vemos pronto.